Welcome everyone into the virtual Dover Motor Speedway tonight. It's a special event here on Tuesday night for the Venom Truck Series as it's time for the All-Star Race. And tonight I'll be your host, Michael Triscaro of PGR eSports, and I'll be joined here shortly by my co-host, Tyler Vickery, as we get set to watch the Open here, and it's a last chance qualifier for some of these drivers to get into the main event here tonight at Dover. And it is going to be a good one here, and we are going to bring you 50 laps of action here in this Open All-Star format. And Tyler will definitely let you guys know more about this format. And tonight we will also have 100 lap for the main event, the All-Star Race here in the Venom Truck Series. And we have been looking forward to this race here for quite some time. It's also the Busch Memorial All-Star Race this year, as well as the Bentley Reynolds All-Star Open. So the Bentley Reynolds All-Star Open will take place first, followed by the KFB Memorial All-Star Race later on this evening. And I'm going to bring in Tyler Vickery here. And Tyler, man, what do you expect here tonight? It is going to be quite the spectacle here at Dover.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm already looking forward to seeing how these guys that are going to be trying to compete their way into the Open. That's going to be a lot of fun, and it's a short run to the each stage as well for the Open. Looking forward to seeing how the All-Star Race goes too, because last week after the race last week, they did a starting lineup randomization for the top 16 drivers that were already going to be qualified into the All-Star Race. So I'm looking forward to that, because the first two rows are people that you would not expect at all. I'll just give one little hint. Front row is going to be Jan Van Leer and Zach Lockett. So that's already going to be a fun All-Star Race, and I'm looking forward to this Open as we're waiting for the qualifying time to end here. And it's going to be, I think this is going to be a lot of fun to see how this Open plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. Here on the concrete surface here at Dover. And for those joining us here tonight, we are qualifying here in Open Q for the Bentley Reynolds All-Star Open. And the way how this works here tonight, this will be 50 laps of action here in this Open. Each driver will have one extra set of tire here in the pits. We'll bring up some of that info here on your screen. And you see it right there. They're going to have 100% fuel, no fast repairs, fixed setups, and a few green-white checkers here if we need them, as drivers momentarily will head to the grid. And remember, you got to qualify out of this race to make the Kyle Busch All-Star Race here later tonight. That'll be 100 laps, and each driver will get 2 extra sets of tires there. And cautions will be automatically thrown for that, and the laps will count. There'll be no midway stage points tonight. 1 fast repair in that main event, 3 green-white checker attempts. And there'll be a 20-minute practice once everyone is logged in. And this Open race, so it looks like it might possibly have a break here tonight, in obviously between this Tyler, this Open race and the main event tonight, with that extra extended practice. And Jan Van Leer, Zach Lockett, Garrett Rainey, like you said, that's the top 3 here starting tonight. So Jan Van Leer going to start from that pole position, as we are still waiting here for drivers to finish up their qualifying runs as we get set here tonight for the All-Star Race.
Yep, and also too for this Open, as some of these drivers are actually getting loaded into the grid right now for the Open. One thing's going to be interesting here. We will have stage cautions for lap 13, lap 26, and then all the way to the checkered on lap 50. The interesting part here is we are going to be seeing some trucks pulling out after each stage caution. So the winner of the first stage here at the end of lap 13 is going to advance on into the All-Star Race. Then stage number 2 will be another 13 laps. The winner of that stage will end up moving on to the All-Star race as well. And then the final stage, which will be a 24-lap race, the winner of that final stage will be the last person into that All-Star race before they bring in the fan vote.
Well, you see here really quick, we're going to just quickly go through this starting grid. Not much time here. You'll see RJ Startvic and Rodney Matney here on the pole for this All-Star Open here. Pace truck lights are off, so we'll just kind of rip through this really quick, and you'll see the starting grid. Paul Ellison, Cleft Outfit, he's a rookie right there. Row number 3 is going to be Corey Clark and Jack Watts. Row number 4, Gary Clark Jr., Paul Sargent. Row number 5, Tyler Berger and Tommy Cook. See, row number 6, Steve Roman, Pascal Simmered Pace. Row number 7 here tonight, Zach Lockett and Chad Stearns. Row number 8, Jan Van Leer, Kyle Zittel. And remember, a few of these guys I do not actually believe running in the Open, so don't think we have to go through all this starting grid. A little bit confusing here, obviously, tonight, but nonetheless, it looks like, 15 drivers taking the green here.
15 drivers. 11th will be Tommy Cook, Pascal Simard Pace, Corey Rutherford, Brantley Gainey Jr., Jordan Journeau, and Joshua Rutherford is rounding out your 15 truck field as green flag is underway.
As one lap comes into the books, I believe we're going to get a yellow flag, a big wreck here farther back. No yellows.
Yeah, no yellows.
No yellows here in the Open.
There is no damage as well, which is going to be the nice part. So Corey Clark, who did get spun out by Paul Sargent, I believe, both of those guys will be able to get back running. I did listen to some of the drivers' meeting. They are, when the caution comes out, they are going to allow people to get the wave rounds if they fall a lap down. So everyone's going to get a reset pretty much by the time the first stage ends, based on how they've got this situation set out. But RJ Starchevic right now, fastest lap of this first stage right now with the 22.8 as he's pulling away on Roddy Matney there sitting in second, and Paul Ellison just trailing on by in third.
Yeah, and you can really see the uniqueness of this track here at Dover. It is very different than a lot of the other tracks here in the NASCAR world. Concrete, obviously the same surface you have at Bristol, but you could really see the elevation change. You go kind of up and into the turn, and that's a little bit different than you see at a lot of other racetracks. Very difficult track here. Obviously narrow. If you look right there on the front stretch, I mean, that inside wall's right there. So not much room for error here as Rodney Matney in the second, Paul Ellison a little bit farther back in third as the rookie Cleft Outfit now up to fourth.
Yeah, and these guys have already separated out real quick. And that's the one thing with Dover, too. Most of the time with these trucks, I've done a lot of running with some of these other faster, like some of these guys that are running the Coke Series and stuff. These trucks are very interesting when it comes to just the grip level and with the concrete. This bottom lean is where we're seeing all these drivers running right now is kind of the preferred line once the rubber builds up. We will see some drivers moving up to the middle groove once the tires start wearing in. We're going to see some more interesting stuff with how these drivers want to attack this concrete circuit. I would not be surprised, though, if we see some drivers taking an opportunity, especially with the way these stage situations are. I wouldn't be surprised if we see these guys stay out and go another 13 laps afterwards and then pit for tires, because tire wear here is, I feel like, not going to be a factor unless you're further in the back half of the field trying to fight your way into this All-Star race.
Well, battle is back here between Corey Rutherford, Pascal Simmer Pace. Sorry about that. They're going to battle here for position at 7th and 8th. A little bit farther up front, it's the 8 of Gary Clark Jr. and his Dodge Ram. All by himself at the moment. In front of him, it's Jack Watts. So a very spread out field, obviously, here at Dover, with it being a lot smaller of a field due to this being the All-Star Open. Tommy Cook at the moment back to 15th. So, yeah, he's underneath the 15 at the moment, and that's Corey Rutherford, but he's kind of just unlapping himself from Corey Rutherford here at this point. And Tommy Cook, like we said, should be able to get a good reset here, as RJ Starcevich has led every lap thus far, 10 laps in a 50 here tonight in the All-Star Open. And Tyler, I mean, the big thing, you want to make the big show here tonight, and right now Starcevich is working on that.
Yeah, Starcevich is making a really great move right now, and I mean, Paul Ellison is finally starting to get some momentum, who's catching up to Rodney Matney, but Starcevich's already got that 0.8 of a second as we're right now completed 10 laps. We're going to have 5 laps to go this time, and right now it seems like RJ, as long as he doesn't make any kind of errors, RJ could, if he wanted to, he could lift off slightly, as actually Paul Ellison is like the fastest truck on the track right now. And Ellison, I don't know if I don't think he's going to have enough time to catch up to RJ in time. And here we go, as RJ Starcevich is coming to white flag now. Actually, I forgot they were going to throw the ended at lap 13. So white flag out for RJ Starcevich, as Paul Ellison and Rodney Matney are getting in a really good battle here for second.
Yeah, good battle for second. And the 55 gets a big run there on the 83 of Matney. Not sure if it's going to be enough here. Left Douthit still in that race as well. And the caution flag is out to end this stage, Tyler. And a good battle here for second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, great battle. And RJ Starcevich is going to advance on into your All-Star race. So RJ Starcevich is moving on. So now, as you can see, RJ Starcevich coming into the pits, because now his job is done. He can now sit and relax and watch the rest of these 14 trucks try to work their way through, as I believe Corey Clark and Tommy Cook are going to start working their way, getting back around to where they can get some opportunities to get some fresh tires and get back on the lead lap for this next reset.
Well, RJ Starcevich is going to win here in this first stage, and he'll move on to that All-Star main event here later tonight. We're going to bring him up here in the booth. The 29 of RJ Starcevich, you got a copy?
I got you loud and clear.
All right, well, we see you having a little bit of fun there on pit lane. And that Eldon number 29, man, and you led every lap there. Obviously, it wasn't too big of a sample size, but looked really quick here tonight at Dover. And now you lock yourself into the All-Star main event here tonight. Man, tell us about that one.
Yeah, I mean, this track is certainly dynamic in so many ways. And so, I'm certainly not shy to say that I'm pretty solid on short runs. So, when it comes to the segment racing here, I was glad to win the pole, get out front, get the clean air there. And, I mean, it felt great. And hopefully I can, learn things for longer runs and be competitive in the All-Star race as well.
Yeah, unique racetrack here at Dover, obviously with, kind of an elevation almost into the turn. Talk to us a little bit about that. It's a unique track, obviously similar surface you see at Bristol and Nashville, but a lot different all at the same time.
Yeah, I not doing iRacing as much as, usual, I get to kind of see the changes in the tracks over the years. So, Dover, I probably haven't ran in a couple of years. So to run some laps yesterday and see kind of where the grooves are at, I like that there's a few different grooves. You can run on the bottom. I was trying that for the second half of the run, and also kind of exploring with the middle and being able to kind of hit the apex of the corner and make sure you have that good exit. But it's challenging. You have to hit your entry. You definitely have to hit your exit, and that wall can bite you there at the edge of the corner. And you mentioned Nashville being a challenging track as well, back to back here in Venom, and certainly test the drivers.
Well, RJ, it was nice talking to you here. We'll definitely tune in here tonight and watch you compete here in the main event. Appreciate you joining us, and maybe tonight you'll head to victory lane and get to talk to us once again. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you guys. Hope to talk to you again, so appreciate it.
That's RJ Starcevich, and he is going to head to that main event, Tyler, as we get set for here another run, and it looks like Rodney Matney this time will start from the front row.
Yeah, and actually we got some people did pit as well. Right now, Corey Rutherford is going to be the first driver to pit back in 9th place, and then Joshua Rutherford going to be right side by side with him. Jordan Journeau and Brantley Gainey Jr. all pitted there, so this is going to get real interesting to see how this all plays out, and I'm looking forward to this. So front row, Rodney Matney and Paul Ellison on your outside, so this is going to be real fun on old tires versus new tires.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And, man, it's going to be quite a race tonight when we load them up there on this racetrack. Obviously, it's going to be believe, pretty chaotic in the early going, 100 laps. And obviously, you know, it's not a points race. I don't believe, at least, as far as the regular season goes. Maybe you can...
No points race.
Yeah, so, I mean, these drivers, they're going all in. They want to win that Kyle Busch All-Star Race main event here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And these guys are going to go give it everything they got here. I'm looking forward to that final stage to see how aggressive some of these guys get. Big question here is the way some of these drivers are running. Who's going to make it out of here on stage number 2? Is it going to be someone on old tires, or is it going to be someone with new tires? Green flag underway, and Rowdy Matney gets a really great start, and Paul Ellison just has no grip on the outside lane.
Yeah, zero grip right there. This track's going to rubber in throughout this race, obviously, especially there in the All-Star Open with the 100 laps. There goes Clef Dalton onto the bottom of the racetrack, 3 wide, farther back, and they're going to have to figure that one out. And now we go back to 2 wide, and these trucks moving all over this racing surface here. Back up front, Matney still leads over Paul Ellison. And you see right there, Jack Watts in 3rd, but a battle is on. Here comes the 55, and Tyler, before the end of that stage here, you saw the 55. It seemed like he had more speed, not only than Rodney Matney, but also the winner there of that stage, who we just spoke with, RJ Starcevic.
Yeah, but here's the other thing. This is kind of interesting. Brantley Gainey Jr. has got a huge amount of momentum. He is fighting hard with Pascal Simard pace. He's going to get the inside preferred lane, and he is going to get around Brantley Gainey up the 5th, and he is within a second. Not even that, a half a second. As there goes the 84, Jordan Journeau going on the inside. Both of these drivers on fresh tires, and both of them have a chance at catching him. Oh, Jordan Journeau gets loose. But these two on fresh tires, Brantley Gainey is catching up to these top 4 very quickly.
Yeah, look at this. Here comes the 77 shot out of a cannon. The HendrickCars.com now out of the bottom of the racetrack. Underneath the 83 of Matney, side by side. That's going to bring Clef Dalton here on the high side in the Marbling Machine as he looks to get to victory lane here in this Open.
Goodness.
And what a race. 5 trucks all vying for the top spot. And it at a 6th with Jordan Journeau.
Oh, man, and we're 4 wide. There goes Ellison getting tagged. He's able to hang on to it.
Oh, a wreck here between Watts.
Behind.
Yeah, Ellison and Watts get into it. Back up front, Matney now starting to pull away. But there's your man right there. You spoke about Brantley Gainey Jr.
Yeah, Brantley Gainey Jr., Jordan Journeau, both on fresh tires, and they are catching up to Rowdy Matney. Matney's going to be in trouble here with having a fight on old tires. Gainey's looking on the inside, not going to make a move. Look at Journeau going up to the higher tier, trying to see if he can make a move on Brantley Gainey. These two might be the ones fighting for this potential stage win, as Journeau is going to block out Gainey, and Journeau's going to take the inside line while pushing Matney up the track.
Yeah, this is some incredible racing we have going on here between these 3, and just like that, Jordan Journeau. And remember, a second ago, he was almost in the inside fence. Now the Canadian to the point here at Dover as Rodney Matney falls back to the 3rd position. Man, if this is any indication of what we're going to see in the All-Star race here tonight, this is where you want to be watching the Venom Truck Series here on a Tuesday night. Fireworks are ready.
Oh, 100% fireworks, and Brantley Gainey's probably thinking, man, what do I got to do to get around Jordan Journeau, knowing he's on fresh tires, and he is going to be pushing everything he can. And I feel for Rodney Matney, knowing that the tires is what played in here, and I believe we should be getting around to like 1 to go next time by. Brantley Gainey running out of time to make a move here on Jordan Journeau.
Yeah, these two are going to battle here to transfer into that main event. The 22 getting closer, but the problem right now is he's got to make the pass. Jordan Journeau is going to lead this lap, but here comes the 22.
Looking, got the dirty air there. He's going to try to diamond it, trying to get the underneath here. So far, I haven't heard from race control whether or not we're going to have that stage caution soon, if this is the one to go, but this is getting to be, there's not much time left, I believe. It's Brantley Gainey Jr. is going to try to get some momentum. He is not going to be able to get it. Jordan Journeau is going to get the win there on the stage, but Jordan Journeau is going nuts. And Jordan Journeau is celebrating a little early as they just called this is white flag lap. So here we go, Brantley Gainey Jr. looking on the inside lane here. We might be side by side coming to the checkered.
side by side off for a drag race. And I believe Jordan Jornal by a hair as the caution flag for the stage comes out. What a finish right there, and that couldn't be any closer.
16 thousandths of a second, and I think Jordan Jorno gave himself a heart attack because I think he probably thought that he was going to be that was coming to the check of the last lap, and I think he lifted a little bit thinking that he was good, and then when the race control announced that was not the white flag lap, I think that gave him a really big panic there.
Well, we're going to bring him up here into the booth. The 84, Jordan Jornal, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, what a finish there. We heard on the radio, or at least Tyler did, that you had thought that previous lap was the last lap. But yeah, to kind of gather it all together as Gainey had a great run. Looked like he was going to snatch it from you. But man, you beat him to the line by a hair. Walk us through those last couple laps to transfer your number 84 machine into the main event.
Well, I pit there at the stage one end. I took tires because I knew, obviously being in the back, I was going to have to do something. When I took those tires, I came out right behind a couple guys who took tires, but I was in a good spot. Just started working my way up following Brantley and knew I had to pass him, and I kind of overheated my right front, so that's why I slowed down towards the end there. I did not expect to be there, and yeah, I thought I had it won already, and then almost lost it. That would have been embarrassing. But, man, that was a good run with Brantley. I'm glad he didn't door me coming out of 4.
Yeah,
I don't know how I did that. I suck here.
Well, you know what? It was an excellent race, and hey, now you got a little bit of momentum tonight. You got your feet wet out there, and you can bring all that you learned right there into that All-Star main event here later tonight. And wow, what a finish you just had right there. Will let you kind of catch your breath. Seems like you were a little excited for that one, but maybe, just maybe tonight, you could also do some damage here in the main event. Appreciate talking to you.
Thanks.
That was your winner here of that stage, Jordan Jornal. He will transfer tonight into the All-Star main event. And up front, it's Brantley Gainey Jr. He was incredibly fast there during that run. Corey Clark, now a rookie, is going to restart in second. And both the Rutherfords, Joshua and Corey, will restart third and fourth, where I believe what will be the final stage of the All-Star Open.
Yeah, and this is what's going to be interesting to me. I'm surprised Brantley Gainey decided to stay out there. I mean, granted, yes, this is going to be a much longer run. We're running this all the way to the end of lap 50. But what interests me, seeing how the new tires were effective for some of these drivers, especially the likes of Jorno and Gainey, I'm surprised Gainey did not pit there to try to take advantage of fresh tires again. He's only got four other trucks that stayed out on those old tires, so I wonder how this is going to play out for them.
Well, we're going to decide this one, and we're going to transfer someone else here into the All-Star main event tonight. And we are set to go back to green flag racing here. The brothers here on the second row, 15 and 64. I'll tell you what, they're going to try to move forward here. But Brantley Gainey Jr., he is going to look to get out to a good jump here and see if he can keep that clean air and ride that 22 right into that All-Star main event. As the pace truck is set to pull off onto pit lane, Gainey Jr. here to the restart zone. Green flag back in the air.
Jump as well for Brantley Gainey Jr. Now I wonder if that's his strategy.
You see Corey Rutherford here. He actually was able to get around Corey Clark. The biggest loser there on that restart is going to be Joshua Rutherford, back to sixth now, as he's getting chased down by Clef Dalton and Tyler Berger. And right now, you got Corey Rutherford. He's going to have to dig because he's got to try to catch Brantley Gainey Jr., who we know is ultra quick at the moment. Corey Clark, your rookie, up to third. Tommy Cook right now in fourth. And there is Rodney Matney in the fifth position, trying to get that track position back from earlier. And here goes, I believe, Tommy Cook under Corey Clark. And he brings Rodney Matney with him.
Yeah, he brings it in really easily, too. Both of these drivers, Rodney Matney and Tommy Cook, pitted on lap 29. So I'm wondering how aggressive they're going to want to push at the start. They still have, I believe, about 15 more laps to go as we're working lap 35 now. I wonder how hard they're going to want to push. Oh, man, Tommy Cook almost hit the wall there. But it seems like Tommy Cook and Rodney Matney are closing in on these two of Corey Rutherford and Brantley Gainey Jr. So I'm curious to see how well this is going to play out. Man, Tommy Cook taps the wall again there as Rodney Matney gets sideways. So, boy, this is getting wild already.
Well, Gainey Jr. is getting tracked down at the moment by Corey Rutherford, and you'd have to think that he really used up some of those tires there to try to win that stage. Because now Rutherford looks a little bit quicker, but Rutherford, he's nearly going to spin in front of Tommy Cook. And it looks like, there he goes. He's going to wreck Rodney Matney involved. Remember, we're going to stay green here in this All-Star Open. No damage. Now that brings Tommy Cook into the fray, carrying the bundle of joy and fun there on the side of his number 18, Forever Rowdy as well. Can he run down Brantley Gainey Jr.? 13 laps to go at the line here in the All-Star Open.
And I can tell you this, talking with Tommy Cook last week when we were working together on the commentary and stuff, Tommy Cook wants to make this All-Star race. So I am not surprised seeing the strategy working to his favor. They have a 0.7 of a second gap over Clef Douthat, the rookie. Oh my goodness, there goes Brantley Gainey getting sideways on exit. Checks up Tommy Cook, but Tommy Cook's able to keep it going. Clef Douthat's now going to be a 0.5 second within these guys as well. So this is already getting really interesting now, as Clef Douthat might put his name in the mix.
Yeah, as he puts his name in the mix, Tommy Cook actually just slapped the wall, but he's going to regather it up here. As Tommy Cook now underneath Brantley Gainey Jr. drag race down the front stretch. Clef Douthat now has got to like what he's seeing out of the front windshield. And I believe Gainey Jr. has just lost his handling. He is going to lose another spot here to Douthat, it looks like, on this lap. Is Tommy Cook now in clean air. You could just see it there, Tyler, in the middle of the turn. That 22, just not as quick as he was earlier.
No, and you can tell the tire fall off is just, the tire fall off is too immense right now with how much of a cheese grater this concrete track is. And you can see Brantley Gainey doing everything he can, but it looks like this is what it probably was for the Open. You needed to take tires every single pit stop because, man, it's a wild turn of events seeing what has happened here. But, man, Tommy Cook's consistent right now, fastest truck on the track right now, and he has pulled a 0.6 of a second gap on Clef Douthat, the rookie.
Yeah, and which is 9 laps to go here. Tommy Cook pulling away. Clef Douthat in second. Brantley Gainey Jr. third. It's Jack Watts back here trying to catch Gainey. He's in fourth. Joshua Rutherford in fifth. Remember, Rutherford up a lot of spots here from his starting position. And there's the battle between Watts. I believe he's going to get a Gainey Jr. dropping like a fly here late with just 8 laps to go. Can Clef Douthat somehow reel in Tommy Cook?
I'm wondering if Clef Douthat overdrove the truck a little bit early on. Douthat way down on that line there between the concrete and the asphalt apron. Douthat's trying everything he can, but he lost another 0.1 of a second there last lap time. Tommy Cook a 23.58, while Douthat a 23.68, and we are running out of time here as we're nearing 6 to go this coming around. As we get to the start finish line, we'll be 6 to go at the line.
Yeah, 6 laps to go at the line. Single file now. Not too many battles here on the racetrack. Gary Clark Jr. farther back, as is Pascal Simmer Pace. That's where a battle's going on right now with Joshua Rutherford and Tyler Berger. As Berger looks to go around the 64 here of Joshua Rutherford, who, remember, started on that second row here. Corey Clark, he's also faded here in the number 11, back to 10th right now. As we go back up front, Tommy Cook looks to run away with this. 5 laps to go here in the All-Star Open.
Yeah, 5 laps to go, and he is up to a 1.1 second gap. he is still running faster lap times than Cliff Douthit. Jack Watts, Paul Ellison, they're trying to creep in, but they're over 2 seconds and 4 seconds behind Tommy Cook. And I don't know if that's going to be enough time. I mean, Cliff Douthit's trying everything he can. Douthit lost another 0.2 of a second there. So I'm wondering if Douthit just overdrove the truck too hard there, as he is sideways again coming off the corner. Here you go, Tommy Cook coming starting lap 48. 3 laps to go this time around. Tommy Cook is just gaining even more time on Douthit. I think Douthit's really struggling on the handling. He just ran a 24.2 as Jack Watts is now closing in on Cliff Douthit.
Yeah, and 3 laps to go here. Jack Watts has come alive. The issue is he's going to run out of time here. Most likely will finish in that runner-up spot behind Tommy Cook, as he still works here right behind Cliff Douthit, who's had a good run so far here tonight. Back up front, Tommy Cook set to take the white flag here next time around, as Jack Watts now underneath Douthit for second. As Cook comes out of turn number 4, he'll take the white flag here. 1 lap to go in the All-Star Open.
1 lap to go, and all Tommy's got to do is just hit his marks, as Jack Watts is just slows up even more. Lost 0.3 of a second, and he is down to 2.5 second gap. All Tommy's got to do here is come through 3 and 4 nice and clean. Tommy just running it nice and smooth, coming out of 4.
Coming out of 4, he will take the checkered flag. Tommy Cook into the All-Star main event here in just a little bit. And what a race here in the Open. And Tyler, 50 laps right there down, 100 more to go in the main event.
Yep, and what a fun Open we had there. And now we get to look forward to turn our attention to the All-Star race. This is going to be very exciting with the 100-lap race.
It really is. And there you have it. 3 winners here in this Open. Starts with RJ Startovic, then Jordan Jornal, and then you see on your screen Tommy Cook here gets this last stage victory, as these 3 burning them down. We're going to still stay here with you at Dover before we take a little break and hop on over to that main event here shortly. And an excited Tommy Cook there celebrating on the racetrack.
Yep, definitely got to get a quick interview with Tommy Cook. He is having a ball right now, and I know he is so looking forward to the All-Star race now.
Yeah, we're going to dial up Tommy Cook here in just a second. And we look forward to bringing him up here into the booth. And we'll let Tyler take this one. We are here with your 3rd stage winner, Tommy Cook.
Hey,
Hello.
Tommy, I remember last week you said you were going to do everything you can here to get that make it into the All-Star race. How's it feel to follow up on your word from last week?
You know, honestly, Dover is a track that I love. I wasn't extremely confident after practice wrapped up, though. Everybody was just so tightly bunched together on lap time. Totally lost my qualifying lap, and then immediately got punted carelessly on lap number 2. So that's you know, that could have been a self-destructive moment, but it swung the other direction, and I was incredibly motivated after that. So it feels very good. I'm excited to be back on track with these guys here tonight, and it's an honor to be considered an all-star of this league. It's really, really cool.
Well, Tommy, I'm really curious. What was your thought process when you seen some of the guys stay out on old tires and seeing how the whole switch-up was for that second stage?
You know, honestly, credit to the Rutherford boys for trying. I knew when they came in that it was going to be uphill sledding for them. Corey's was really interesting, the fact that he basically just threw that entire second segment to try and keep those tires in check. But I knew once a handful of them came in that second segment that as long as I could not crash, which is pretty hard to do here, honestly, I was feeling pretty confident that I could pick my way through them eventually. So, kudos to them for trying. I burnt my stuff up there at the end of that run, so I'm sure they were feeling awful.
Well, Tommy, looking forward to watching you in the All-Star race. I know you're going to have a lot of fun with it. I know the only downside, you get to start 20th out of the 21 trucks, but I know, like how you said yesterday when we were both helping out with the broadcast last week, I know you said just making it into the All-Star race was going to be your number one priority.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, starting all the way in the back, I've got nothing to lose. I could just sit back, kick my feet up, and watch for a little while, see who makes their way out of this race, and then more options for strategy. So we're gonna go for it tonight.
Have fun tonight, Tommy. We wish you luck in the All-Star race now.
All right, thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
Tommy Cook, victorious there in the third segment of the All-Star Open, and we got our 3 transfers, and man, it's going to be one heck of a night here, Tyler, as we are going to take a quick break, so don't go anywhere. We are going to return here to Dover shortly for the main event here in the Venom Truck Series. It's the 8th annual Venom Night of Stars All-Star event as we head to the KFB Memorial All-Star Race here shortly. We'll see you soon here live on PGR. We'll be back shortly. back here live at Dover Motor Speedway. Some technical difficulties on the Venom Truck Series side. They had to create a new session, but this is it. It is time for the Venom Truck Series All-Star main event, the Kyle Busch tribute here, this All-Star race here at Dover. Don't forget, a couple weeks ago, Kyle Busch, his last ever win in NASCAR here in the Truck Series at this very track. I'm Michael Triscaro, your host here tonight for PGR eSports. My co-host Tyler Vickery has joined me up here in the booth, and the Open is over. Tyler, we saw a few drivers transfer into this main event here tonight, but now we go 100 laps around this concrete surface here tonight, and only one All-Star champion will be crowned.
Yep, and I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be a lot of fun. I did find out, I forgot to tell you this off broadcast earlier, but last week when I was talking with Tommy Cook, apparently the All-Star winner, whoever wins the All-Star race, apparently from what they do in past seasons is they give the All-Star winner the option to choose the next combination for the next track to race at for the next season. So that's going to be fun. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing a certain driver hopefully potentially win. So I'm sorry if I'm throwing bias, but he already said in the previous weeks that if he ends up winning the All-Star race, he's going to choose New Smyrna Speedway. So
well, that'll be a perfect one for obviously us to call, and you'll be one of the best in the business at calling that, as these drivers still practicing. They're going to advance it here in a few minutes. We'll head down to the grid and get that starting lineup as well. And man, Tyler, well, while we're still waiting to get to that grid, who's your favorite here tonight? I would assume Brody Gunther's got to be up there, but there's a couple other drivers too that were fast, especially in that Open. We'll see where they can come from tonight.
yeah, of course Brody Gunther is going to be my favorite to win, just because he's already said that if he wins the All-Star race, he's going to choose more than might end up choosing New Smyrna for the All-Star race for next season. The other drivers I've been kind of keeping an eye on that I think are going to be really good when it comes to long runs. Like I believe, like right now, Kyle Zittle's going to be one that's always going to be one of those hidden guys that's really good on long runs. I believe as well Chad Stearns and Hayden Palumbo are going to be also on my list of guys to keep an eye on, because Hayden Palumbo is really good when it comes to long runs, and I think he might be another one that can come out of nowhere and be able to win a long run race.
Well, it looks like we are ready to rock through that rolling grid here tonight. And you said it earlier, Tyler, when we came on the broadcast for that Open, the starting front row, Jan Van Leer, pole position. To his outside, it'll be Zach Lockett on a row number 2 here tonight for this All-Star main event race. It's going to be Garrett Rainey as well as Chad Stearns. On a row number 3 tonight, Charlie Widner and Josh Freed. On row number 4, it's going to be Eric Breeding and Kyle Zittle. And on row number 5, rounding out your top 10, it's Andy Palicki and Lucas Carver. On row number 6 tonight, Michael Milfelt Jr. and Hayden Palumbo. On row number 7, it's going to be Brody Gunther and Chris Mackey. On row number 8, Matt Williamson and Austin Holyfield. On row number 9, it's RJ Startsevek and Jordan Jornau, who both got in with their segment win in the All-Star Open. On row number 10, Tommy Cook, who did the same thing. And also Paul Ellison. On row number 11, it's going to be the Rudifords, Corey Rudiford and Josh Rudiford. And rounding out your 23 truck field, Brantley Gainey Jr. As we get set.
I was gonna say, I believe those 3 are gonna have like tribute cars as well. So, and actually,
okay,
it's gonna be a 21. It's a 21
gotcha.
Truck field. Paul Ellison was your fan vote winner for advancing into the All-Star race. So Paul Ellison in the caboose of the field in 21st as your fan vote driver.
Yep, and my bad on that. Those drivers now going to do the Kyle Busch tribute here in the front of this field. A tribute to Kyle Busch. You see one of them right there, Corey Rutherford, and the Kellogg's number 5. One of his paint schemes, I believe, when he drove for Hendrick Motorsports. And that's a tribute to Kyle Busch right there. Here's Joshua Rutherford in the number 8. And that's the current car Kyle Busch ran for Richard Childress Racing. And here's Brantley Gainey Jr. in the number 51. The most dominant ever here in the NASCAR Truck Series, Kyle Busch. And what a tribute from Corey and Joshua Rutherford, as well as Brantley Gainey Jr. here tonight as they hit pit road. And a cool nod to the eternal, immortal Kyle Busch. And we go back up front. It is time for the All-Star Race here in 2026 for the Venom Truck Series. Green flag in the air. Massive wreck here in the early going. Trucks all over the racetrack here at Dover. Tight quarters, and it strikes early. Startsevek involved Hollyfield, Gunter, Chad Stearns, Miltha, Ellison, Jan Van Leer, Tommy Cook, Garrett Rainey, all involved here in the early yellow flag. The first caution of the night.
Yeah, Brody Gunther involved. It's like, who wasn't caught up in that wreck? I mean, it happened. The two leaders, and it was Zach Lockett. It was Zach Lockett, I believe, and Jan Van Leer. And my goodness, that took out a lot of trucks. I mean, the only good thing is these guys get one fast repair, but man, I don't think these guys were expecting to use that fast repair early.
Yeah, I mean, Gunther's torn up at his rear. You see the 05 torn up as well. That's Chad Stearns. We'll go back to the replay momentarily, but pit road busy here early.
Yeah, pit road's busy early, and I can tell you this, though. The 3 that made it through unscathed, Kyle Zittel, Josh Freed, and Charlie Whitner, the Daytona winner and the rookie this year right now for the Venom Truck Series. All 3 of them were able to make it through cleanly. About other trucks, I don't know, but man, that was massive.
It was massive. We're actually going to go here to the replay and watch this yellow flag unfold here. Keep an eye. Oh, yeah, right there in the front.
Sometimes your career mode feed looks like your phone does. What your X feed looks like on a race.
It just looks like Jan Van Leer went to just follow his line, and he got a little bit of a bump from the 93 there, and it just upset him so much. But Chad Stearns gave a little bump too.
Oh, look at Gunther come in. He just right into Garrett Rainey. I mean, what a wreck here to start things off.
Yeah, that was a huge wreck, and there was nothing a lot of these guys in the back could do either. I mean, it was like as soon as Jan Van Leer came around and slid back down the track, it just blocked everything. And I mean, Jan's able to barely make it through. I mean, Brody Gunther comes flying in and also getting caught up in this. There was nothing anyone can do. I mean, I think Tommy Cook barely tried to make it through, got clipped a little bit, but a lot of trucks getting early in this race, getting caught up in that mess. And oh my goodness, that was rough.
Yeah, rough go. What a wicked wreck. You see it here on your screen once again. We'll go back here to the front of this pack momentarily, but man, what a pile up here. And that's something you come to expect. You get a wreck here at Dover, tight quarters, and it could create a big one as it does here early. We go back up front here live as we get set for the second restart here of this race. It's going to be Charlie Whitner, Josh Freed here on the front row.
Yeah, I think that both of those guys were not expecting that, and I think they're kind of thanking their lucky stars right now that they were able to avoid that wreck. So a reset for those guys, but I think they're going to kind of like being up near the front now, and they can kind of control this race as pace car is off.
Pace car is off, and here we go. Widner free. Could Charlie Widner win the All-Star race? He won at Daytona. Green flag back in the air at Dover. Winner jumps out to that lead, but Josh Freed right here, and here comes Lucas Carver. On the outside, he's going to hit the wall.
Oh,
there
man,
goes the
here we go.
95 into the wall. Your leader, caution out for the second time.
And he was able to stay off from getting pinballed back, but just looks like slight little bit of contact, and man, hard hit in the into the inside wall on the right side. I don't know how bad it is, but man, that was once again the turn two is biting again.
And here
like
we
might have gotten
go.
help.
Yeah, right here in the front again. This pack is where it starts. So now, really up front, leaders twice have brought out these caution flags. And that's Charlie Widner in that Appalachian State Mountaineer car as he goes into the inside fence. That brings out our second yellow flag. And yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of this here in the early going until we are able to kind of get some single file racing. And these guys digging for all they can. It's the All-Star race, Tyler. Nothing to lose here tonight, everything to gain. You want to win this All-Star race at all costs, and that's what we're going to see. But the problem is how many trucks are going to be here when it's all said and done is the question.
Yeah, that's what's kind of gotten me really concerned. I mean, we've already seen multiple trucks getting caught up in incidents, especially with some of the big name guys getting caught up in having to use their fast repairs early. So I don't know what to expect here, but man, it was just really unfortunate there. I mean, looking back to see about the wreck, it was Josh Freed doing everything he could to check up because Charlie Widner did get loose. As the coming off of 2, you usually have that little step down section on the high side of 2, and it just loosened up Widner enough, and Freed just got into the back bumper of Freed enough, and it spun him, and that's what spun Widner around. But thankful that he did not bounce back up the track because that could have been very disastrous for a lot more trucks again, especially the guys that were in the back half of the field that already used their fast repair.
Yeah, very interesting here as Freed and Carver now up front, as well as Kyle Zittel now up the third. Caden Palumbo and Eric Breeding rounds out your top 5, and truly, this is a wild card here tonight. With the way this is, obviously you got your favorites, but there's going to be some carnage, and you're going to have to survive if you want a shot to go to victory lane here at the Monster Mile.
Yeah, and the other situation, too, is you got 2 sets of tires as well in the pits. That's the only 2 sets that you're going to have, so you have to be very watchful on, you can't really let your trucks get too much damage. You can't really overdrive the trucks as well because, I mean, yes, it's a 50-lap race, but if you slide or get caught up in any kind of wreck with these trucks, you're going to destroy the tires very quickly too, and that could be very disastrous on a long run.
Well, we're going to go green here this time by with the 39 of Josh Freed, Lucas Carver there in the 89. And we'll see if these drivers can get some green flag racing in. Restart's been chaotic, and really from the lead both times to bring out our caution flags here in the early going. Remember, we're going 100 laps here tonight, 100% fuel in these Craftsman trucks. As Freed gets ready to rock and roll here with Lucas Carver as the pace truck set to make that left-hand turn yet again here on pit lane. The restart zone, that's going to come up really quick right here as the green flag is back in the air at Dover.
Big jump already for Josh Freed, and Zittel able to time it as well and getting his way up there. But already now almost single filed out. Looks Lucas Carver getting the run there on the outside lane is going to be able to get the run. Hayden Palumbo not too far behind.
Yeah, Palumbo making a move right now. He's been strong all season long as he goes around here. Kyle Zittel, he looks to work now on Lucas Carver. Back to 5th, it's Andy Palicki, and he's got a ton of trucks behind him, double file, all the way to the tail end of the field.
Yeah, and you can see all the battles going on. Oh, man, I believe that was the 21 there of Matt Williamson getting loose. There's a few guys 3 wide further back, and they are kind of getting themselves single file. Brody Gunther was involved in that a little bit as well. These guys are starting to single file out now. It's still 2x2 where Brody Gunther is at, and Matt Williamson is fighting a very ill-handling truck.
Yes, he is.
He is going to be 4 wide, 5 wide. Oh, big wreck involved, and there is some more trucks destroyed. Matt Williamson front nose is gone. Garrett Rainey's around. Milfelt getting caught up in it as well. And that's going to be your 3rd caution of the night. Matt Williamson meatballed, and it looks like Michael Milfelt Jr. meatballed as well. And Milfelt after getting caught up in that lap 1 incident. This might be the All-Star race over for Milfelt, as that truck is very heavily damaged on the right front.
Yeah, heavy damage here, and we were watching that mid-pack battle, so we'll have to go back here so that everyone can see what happened here to bring out that 3rd caution flag. And we'll watch it here. And you see the 21 there. That's Matt Williamson involved. And Michael Milfelt. There goes the 13. Garrett Rainey involved. And, you know, it's Dover. It's the All-Star race. Nothing to lose, but sooner than later, we're going to see some trucks dropping out of this race. Because like you said, Tyler, only one fast repair. And at some point, you know, you're just not going to have much time to fix any damage after you use that fast repair here tonight. You know, these pace laps are fast here at Dover. If they keep tearing them up like this, there's not going to be too many trucks left here that are going to vie for the checkered flag here tonight. And you see this damage here for Williamson as he takes the grunt of this one, as does, I believe, Garrett Rainey.
Yeah, that kind of makes it really tough, too. I mean, I think for Milfelt Jr., that might be it for Milfelt Jr., and I think Matt Williamson might be done as well, because I think both of those guys might have used their fast repair. Actually, no, Matt Williamson is good. I know Milfelt Jr. for sure, he used his fast repair in that big hellacious wreck there in lap 1, and that truck is very destroyed, and I don't think, I think Milfelt is done for the night, as you can see, Matt Williamson starting to drive away from the pits as well.
Well, we're going to have to rack them up again, as we are doing early and often here at Dover. Josh Freed is where you want to be. That's out front. Hayden Palumbo up to 2nd. He's up 10 spots, actually, at the moment. Lucas Carver, 3rd. Kyle Zittel, 4th. And look at Jordan Journal, winner of the open race, or one of the segments within the open race. He's up to 5th place right now. So he is the best amongst those drivers who had to race their way in. And, you know, he was so excited. He didn't think he belonged. But can the Canadian Jordan Journal go to victory lane tonight? I tell you what, I think he's underestimating his talent level here at Dover, as we are getting set to go back to racing under green flag conditions here. And we'll see if these guys finally be able to rip off some laps here at Dover.
Yeah, I'd be curious myself, too. I mean, you also got to look at Paul Ellison, the fan vote winner. He's up 13 spots from starting in dead last. So, I mean, really, really impressive run there, too, for Paul Ellison, being able to avoid some of these wrecks and being up near the front now. So he's another one to keep an eye out as well. And, I mean, Tommy Cook in 9th, the stage three winner. So, I mean, a lot of guys that were in the open race, I think they're using their experience wisely right now and being able to work their way up.
Oh, you see Andy Palicki. He's one of those drivers that has all the talent to get to victory lane here tonight. He's going to restart here in the 6th position. Green flag back in the air at Dover.
A decent little jump there again on that inside lane. Palumbo's going to try to fight off Lucas Carver here as Palumbo gets that outside run. Palumbo easily going to make it through, and they are single file way on back. Whoa there, Palumbo goes way in the inside, and he's going to dive it in for a chance of taking over the lead here, and he's going to clear Josh Freed coming out of form. Man, that was an aggressive move immediately there.
Well, Palumbo's fast here early. That number 35 to the point here over Freed. Lucas Carver just ahead of Kyle Zittel as Jordan Jornal into the top 5. He wants more as Hayden Palumbo now under attack from Josh Freed. Can he get the lead back?
And I would not be surprised. He's going to be pushing hard there. Oh, Tommy Cook further back in that picture. Got a little sideways. He was able to hang on to it as Tommy Cook's having a battle here with Brody Gunther there. Brody Gunther going to start making a move. But Brody Gunther's trying to work his way back up too, as Andy Palicki now is his next target. And Andy Palicki's going to give him all kinds of fits here right now. But Brody Gunther now still stuck in that mid-pack as Hayden Palumbo's starting to pull away a gap here. A 0.3 of a second gap on Josh Freed.
Yeah, we'll go back here to Brody Gunther, and he's in that battle with Tommy Cook. Tommy Cook, winner of one of those segments as well. That's how he got himself here in this All-Star.
Man,
Venom
Tommy Cook
Maxabrack, just as we were talking about him. Tommy Cook into the inside wall, completely destroyed the front end of his machine as he is going backwards. You see that smoke billowing out from the engine hood, and I don't know if he has a fast repair, he's still going to have to get back here to pit lane somehow.
Yeah, I don't know either, and that was an unfortunate. It was like a very tight 3 wide. And I mean, and it was like there was nothing. I think Brody might have bounced off the side, the outside wall, but there was a very tight 3 wide, and especially Dover, it is hard to be able to pull something like that off, and that was really unfortunate as well. I believe Tommy, though, does have a fast repair. I'm keeping an eye on him. Yep, he does have a fast repair at least, so that saves him with that situation. But trying to go back to that wreck, though.
Well, I think he was able to get that fast repair. Yeah, man, what a talent right there just to do that. And back up front, leaders stay out here. Hayden Palumbo, Freed, Carver, Zittel, Jorno. That's how we restarted there. Brody Gunther now up to 7th. Remember, I do not believe he'll have a fast repair left. See Paul Ellison here in 6th, Jan Van Leer. In 8th, it's RJ Startsevic in 9th, and Chris Mackey right now rounds out your top 10.
Yeah, I don't think there's many drivers that still have a fast repair left, especially with everything that's been going on. And I mean, it's amazing to see what these guys are doing. I mean, question I think is going to be real interesting is when some of these guys are going to think about potentially using their first set of tires. Just the way this has been playing out. I mean, we're getting ready to complete lap 20 right now, and we still got 80 laps to go in this race. But I feel like a lot can still happen here.
Yeah, obviously a lot can happen. Still a long way to go. We've had a caution-filled beginning. 4 cautions, 4 yellows here to start tonight.
Yeah, but these guys are going to be pacing around a little bit more. Interesting situations, though. I think Tommy Cook, Tommy Cook, I think only took his fast repair. I think he still has his tires left. I think a lot of these drivers only did their damage repairs, and I don't think anyone has taken any tires yet. So, I'll be curious to see when people decide to take their tires here. But this is gonna be interesting. I mean, as well as also too, I'll be curious to see when some of these drivers will maybe pit and sneak a pit stop here for fuel as well if we get another caution at some point.
Well, let's go. Let's try to do this thing another time here. These drivers have been on the wheel, but you know, it's a tough place to drive. We all know that. It's definitely a different beast here at Dover. It's nice to have kind of a half of a field of what these guys have been getting week to week, because you could have put 38, 40 trucks on here. We might be here all night. So at least we have half the field. As Palumbo set to take the green flag here with Josh Freed to his inside. As the pace truck heads off onto pit lane here again. And drivers to the restart zone. As the flagman gets the green flag out, and it is back in the air. Sold out crowd here at Dover. Palumbo, another good jump right ahead of Zittel. Zittel up to second. He's around Josh Freed. A great restart there for the 53 M&M machine of Kyle Zittel.
Yep, and he was able to get that run, but Freed tried to give another opportunity. If Freed's going to have the inside preferred lane right now, while this track starts getting rubbered in again, Freed's going to be able to get that momentum as even further back. Carver's all single file. First trucks that are also battling. Actually, Zittel and Freed are still battling side by side as Freed just cannot get the exit, as Zittel's still going to be side by side there. It's where, wait a minute, further back, I think at one point I had seen 3 wide, but they are back to 2 by 2 and everything. So things are getting really interesting with this battle with Freed and Zittel as they are still fighting it out.
Yeah, and we don't know what it's going to be like with the long green flag run just yet. I'm assuming we'll see one here shortly, you know, but obviously that can change the game here, especially with tire fall off. It just hasn't happened. It didn't happen in the open. I saw it farther back.
That was Ellison getting really loose. He was able to hang on to it, but man, that got real scary there. I thought Ellison was going to loop it around there for a second, but he was able to catch it, and he's trying to get back up to speed.
Well, Gainey is out at the moment. Both Rutherfords here on pit lane member, but those guys actually were not, I believe, in this race. So keep getting confused with the live scoring and timing. But Milfelt on the pit lane. Chad Stearns is out here. He's in 19th. He's way off the pace. Hayden Palumbo, though, still leads it. Zittel, now he's gotten passed by Josh Freed as these three battle for the lead. It's Jan Van Leer here in 5th at the moment. And remember, Jan started here on the front row. He has faded back to the 5th spot for the time being, as he's in a battle here with Brody Gunther. And we knew Brody Gunther would be back up front. And here he is already working that back bumper of Jan.
Yep, and he is doing everything he can with Jan, trying to maybe get him unsettled, but still early on, because right behind him is the rookie Charlie Widener, and he is doing everything he can as well to try to maybe make a name for himself here as well. And man, these guys are having a really good battle here. It looks like Jan is looking on the inside here of Lucas Carver. Carver's going to defend it hard here and squeezing him on the inside, but Carver gets the momentum on the outside, and Brody Gunther's going to look on the inside, trying to make the outside lane work as well, and it is just not able to work, as Jan Van Leer is going to be able to get the move on Lucas Carver.
Oh, wow, Carver looks like he hit the wall there, and that is, you know, not uncommon here at Dover. You come off that turn, it's going to kind of push you all the way up into that wall, man. It's just the way this track is banked and shaped, and you're going to see a lot of these drivers have some of that right side, almost like a Darlington stripe here. I'll call it the Dover stripe here today. And now we're getting some of that green flag racing that we did not get here early, as Zittel battles here with Freed for that second position. Hot contested battle here for second at the moment, as Hayden Palumbo looks to pull away.
Yeah, it's Chris Mackey looking on the inside there, trying to get the run on Lucas Carver. Carver just struggling on his tires now. Brody Gunther is all by himself right now a little bit, trying to make his move to get up there to catch up into maybe even the top 3. But man, further back, Charlie Widener hitting the wall hard, as I believe he is falling back a little bit, but everyone's still able to make it around him.
Yeah, Widener now under attack big time here from Williamson, as well as, I believe, Zach Lockett. And we've seen this now here in the last few laps, just drivers kind of getting loose or getting up under the wall. They have to back way off the throttle. Widener has to do it here. He's fallen now to 13th position. And there goes Williamson as Lockett comes in. Here comes the 55 of Paul Ellison. So just some mistakes, and a mistake can be costly here at Dover, as now on a longer green flag run, 33 of 100 here as we inch towards that halfway point of tonight's race.
Yeah, and especially with the way these guys is, Palumbo still has an 8/10 of a second lead over Zittel, but I'm wondering how much tire has Palumbo used whether or not he's been really aggressive or if he's been very cautious on trying to be able to not use his tires up. But I'm keeping an eye on lap times right now, and right now Tommy Cook has actually been running is the fastest truck on the track, not too far behind is Brody Gunther. So I'm going to be kind of curious to see how these guys work their way up through the field. But Tommy Cook has been starting to really put some fast laps in, as he's getting a little sideways though too. But right now, front 5 trucks are all single file a little bit, but running different lines though as well, and working their way around lap traffic.
Yeah, Kyle Zittel here in second at the moment. You see him there. He is in 10th. So we're in the Las Vegas hockey. So he's not able to watch the hockey at the moment, but it is a 3-2 Las Vegas lead. So he's going to be a happy camper to look at that score. We'll see how that goes throughout the night. So he's locked in here tonight as Kyle Zittel. And remember, not the best night. Ooh, it's 3-3 now. We don't want to tell him that, but he did not have the best opening night last night in the PGR Light Series chase for the championship. Came in the point leader. He had fallen now to Axel Smith, so he's in second over there in PGR on Monday nights. But obviously here, he has been running pretty solid here every Tuesday night. But Josh Freed still trying to track him down. Both M&M Toyotas here tonight. Oh, Brody Gunther. Oh, is he going to save it? He saves it
at the cost of Jan Van Leer getting into the wall, because I think it was Jan Van Leer getting into the side of Brody Gunther, but was able to hang on to it, because man, that could have been really bad. Oh my goodness, more dooring by Jan Van Leer. What in the world is going on here?
Yeah, I don't know, but I'll tell you what, Gunther with maybe the save of the night right there. Somehow, some way, Gunther able to keep it straight. He's now up to 4th. Unbelievable save. Here's Jan Van Leer as he's falling back now to 7th. He's going to slap the wall again. Jornal is going to go underneath him. And remember, he was quick in his segment tonight. He won a segment. He's on the move as he is around Jan Van Leer. Tommy Cook now, also a segment winner in the Open. He's up to 5th as these Open winners, that extra seat time and practice time tonight, coming alive here.
Yeah, and especially now with the situation, knowing that you got to take care of the trucks, especially now that damage is on. These guys I think these guys that got those extra laps, and they know how hard they could push because they could hit the wall without worried about any kind of damage. So I think these guys are really starting to take advantage of those seat times. And I mean, you see it. You see Tommy's been doing really well, and I'm looking forward to see what Tommy can be able to pull off here, because he is actually, surprisingly enough, running the same lap times as Brody Gunther. Big question mark though is going to be, when is the pit stop's going to happen, especially if these guys continue running like they do. Man, Tommy Cook gets the wall there a little bit, but I'll be looking forward to seeing when we get the opportunity here potentially of some green flag stops. But I'm trying not to jinx myself, but I probably jinxed it anyways.
Huh. Well, not only that, but do we have to keep an eye on some fuel here tonight? If we do go green, I mean, it was 100% fuel, but a lot of these leaders had not pit yet tonight. I just what if we get a long green flag run? I mean, is fuel going to be an issue?
I think so. I think some of these trucks can go. 50 to 60 laps on fuel, and I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. And I think when they do pit, they're going to pit for tires. So I'll be curious on what all happens here with some of the stuff with that. It'll be interesting, but I'm curious on like what they're gonna do with some of the with these pit stops and stuff when it does come to that time.
Well, yeah, and you see it in real life all the time, the short pitting and getting on those fresher tires, forcing everyone to pit. The last thing you want to do is stay out, as other drivers are obviously logging a much faster lap time. So strategy could play a part here tonight, but we'll run through our field really quick from the back to the front. Chad Stearns on pit lane in 19th at the moment. Milfelt on pit lane as well in 20th. It's Garrett Rainey. He's on the track right now, but he's tracking in the 18th position. Jan Van Leer, we've seen him bouncing off the wall here during this run. He is now faded 16 positions back from the pole. He is in 17th. As we move up from there, it's going to be Eric Breeding as he pilots that 26 Toyota machine tonight. He's in 16th at the moment. And Open Segment 1 winner, it's RJ Startsevek. And only up a couple spots. He's been looking at, I think he's just kind of waiting for another caution flag, trying to keep that truck clean. We'll see if he can make his way through the field at some point. He's in 15th. And Andy Paliki, he is in 14th at the moment in his Toyota. Right ahead of him, it is Charlie Widener. He's had some trouble as well so far here at Dover. Lucas Carver, he was actually not too long ago, up battling in the front. He's faded back to 12th. Paul Ellison, though, he's on the move, up 9 positions in the 55 Dodge Ram. He's into 11th. We'll let Tyler Vickery take the top 10.
Yeah, top 10 right now is going to be Austin Hollifield right now in a little bit of a hornet's nest here, trying to make his runs as much as he can, as he's right now chasing down 9th place of 93 of Zach Lockett. Just in front of him, who he is also fighting with, is the Canadian Jordan Journeau, who is actually being able to continue a decent run here in 10th from after making it through the stage number 2 in the Open. Then further up ahead in 7th is going to be Matt Williamson, after having an up and down race as well, getting caught up in an early wreck earlier on in the race. He is holding himself on up in 7th. 6th place is going to be the rookie Chris Mackey, who is working his way, trying to catch up to the next truck in front of him there, but a great decent showing for Mackey, up 8 positions. Then you got the stage 3 winner of Tommy Cook right now in 5th place, hanging on as much as he can. He has had a little bit of fall off, but Tommy Cook working your way in the top 5 right now after making it in on the last stage in the Open. So a great run for Tommy Cook so far. Up to 4th place is Kyle Zittel, who has fallen off a little bit here, as Zittel's on the long run trying to, I believe, save some tires, and he will be rounding out in 4th. We're top 3 now. 3rd place is going to be Brody Gunther, who is up 10 positions since the start of the green flag race, and he is one of the faster trucks lapping on the track currently, still about 2 seconds from the leader right now, which then is going to be 2nd place of Hayden Palumbo. Palumbo having a great little run here, also up 10 positions in the race, and Palumbo's hoping to maybe get an opportunity here to catch up to Josh Freed, and Josh Freed here, who is up leading the race still after the incidents we had earlier on. Josh Freed leading the race by only a half a second, as Hayden Palumbo is catching up to him now, as Josh Freed is going to make the move on Garrett Rainey to put Garrett Rainey a lap down here as we get ready to complete lap 52 here, and Palumbo behind gets a little bit loose. But this race is still, after we're past the halfway point, this race is going to be really exciting here, working the way down to the lap 100.
Yeah, it really is. Ooh, another guy slaps off the wall a little bit farther back. Here's Hayden Palumbo up the 2nd. He tries to reel in Josh Freed. So we'll look at that race around. We are past the halfway point, and these are obviously a long green flag run here. I'm very curious to see who's going to be the first taker. If, in fact, they can't make it on fuel, who wants to come within this window tonight to take those fresh tires and short pit this. But here is your race recap here. So far, just past the halfway point now on lap 54. It's Josh Freed, your leader. We've had 4 cautions here. All came early. We're 13 laps, 2 lead changes here tonight as Freed leads over Palumbo, Gunther, Zittel, and Cook.
Yeah, I'll be very curious on who does decide to pit first. That's going to be the that's going to be the big interesting part there, is who's going to be able to make the stops work. And that's the other thing. The pit stop here at Bristol is very, very difficult, especially when you're going from a high bank to concrete, and then you're trying to get onto a flat asphalt pit lane. And the other thing too is pit lane is 35 mile an hour too, so you're having to really slow up the truck very hard, very quick. As in actuality, here we go, RJ Starchevic, first truck that's on the lead lap coming into pits.
Yeah, we knew we were going to see it. Ill handling trucks here at Dover. You want to come down, you want to get those tires, but now cautions also. Who knows, if someone wrecks, could put you a lap down. So there is a trade-off here. Depending on how all this works out here tonight, we'll see how long some of these leaders up front, like Freed, Palumbo, and Gunther, decide to stay out. As Starchevic actually going to slide his box, and he's got to get back in position.
He's still struggling trying to get into his pit box, so that was really unfortunate there for RJ, just having a really great, decent run there, as he is still sitting in the pits, and I think he might have made another error, so he is sitting in the box for a while too. So I wonder if something else has happened to it, that it just to the point where it's very ill handling for him.
Yeah, very ill handling, but not ill handling up front. Clean Air has proved to be the winner here for Josh Freed. He is coasting away from second place Hayden Palumbo as Brody Gunther's trying to track down Palumbo during this run. You'd have to think on a very long run that it might favor Brody Gunther here with his experience in real life as he is tracking Palumbo down at the moment. The question is how big of a gap here to Josh Freed, and how is it all going to work out with those green flag pit stops? Because they are imminent here for these leaders, as you see from the cockpit of Brody Gunther using the bottom lane. As Palumbo now using that high lane, he'll get run off the top of the racetrack here, but Gunther is moving down to the bottom to try to find some speed.
Yeah, and I'll be curious too. I mean, if Brody's doing everything he can, trying to run a different lane too. The other thing too, he does have some side damage from that wreck. So Brody Gunther's going to be trying to do what he can to keep that air off, that dirty air off the truck. And we'll see here as Chris Mackey and Andy Poliski is in the pits now as well for their stops.
Yeah, down pit lane here, and these are all short pits. We'll see if it pays off. Remember, RJ Starcevic, the first one to come down. And Tyler, if you look at the lap times, how much more is RJ Starcevic gaining now with these fresh tires compared to these leaders?
I don't know. I think something happened because RJ is actually in the garage.
Oh, wow.
So RJ, yeah, so I don't know what happened, but
oh, well, here it is.
Happened.
Kyle Zittel. He's in. As is Tommy Cook, Jordan Janal, Eric Breeding. A lot of the leaders coming to pit lane. Will that draw the other ones in? 63 in the books. Goodyear tires going on these race trucks, as well as Sunoco Racing Fuel to get them to the end here tonight. And, man, this is going to be a big... here comes Freed.
Just Freed. Yep, Freed is...
And Gunther's still out there. Palumbo, man, he is fighting the wheel hard right now.
Yeah, the other thing too, Jordan Journeau, unfortunate situation for him. Jordan Journeau really late getting into the pit entry, spun himself out, got a black flag for speeding, and he wrecked. Brody Gunther calling out to Palumbo that he is going to be pitting this time by as well. So this is going to get really interesting here on the for Brody Gunther coming into the pits. He's got to slow up a little bit. He is, I think, going to be good, and he is clean right now as Hayden Palumbo is going to take over the lead.
Yeah, Palumbo takes over the lead, but, obviously some different strategies. Gunther is able to go a little bit longer now, as is Hayden Palumbo, so they'll have fresher tire here towards the end of this race. So lots of different little bit strategies here. Here comes Hayden Palumbo, your leader, onto pit lane.
Yep, and right now Zach Lockett's going to take over the lead. Lockett is going to stay out a little bit longer. Paul Ellison as well. Top four staying out still, and that's the other thing with this is I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how long some of these guys are willing to go, because the longer they go, the more wear they're gonna, the slower they're gonna be. But the big thing is though, they're gonna have much fresher tires than these guys, and they're gonna be able to have that grip much longer. So this is gonna be very interesting to see when these guys decide to pit.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you see the battle here with Lockett and Ellison heating up, but they're going to be the problem is they're going to be losing time here. That's the biggest thing. They're losing time to all these drivers with fresher tires.
I wonder if Ellison's got to be pitting soon, because Ellison has not pitted at all. Zach Lockett has, so I could give the benefit of the doubt of Lockett maybe on a different tire strategy. The thing that interests me, though, is we're working lap 68 now. Paul Ellison has not come into the pits at all, so I'm actually kind of surprised. I thought the pit window was between 50 and 60, so I may be wrong again when it comes to the full 100% fuel for some of these trucks. But Ellison, I'm kind of curious, how much longer is he willing to go? I mean, he's going to have really fresh tires compared to some of these other people, and he's really good on fresh tires, but I don't know how long he's going to be able to go, as he is fighting with Zach Lockett right now, and Paul Ellison is going to clear Zach Lockett, so Paul Ellison back on point.
Well, let's go back and take a look here at where we believe the leader really could be at the moment. Brody Gunther's back in here in 8th position.
And
As
he just ran a
works.
22.999.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Fastest
battling.
lap
There's
earned.
Josh Freed. I mean, he's going around Josh Freed, and that's who was ultimately your leader. So Brody Gunther, I mean, he probably utilized faster pace on and off pit lane now. I mean, that could be, it's potentially your battle for the race win. And, too wide. Oh, he's going to get picked here by Rainey. He's going to lose that position. He's going to have to battle back as Rainey almost, it looked like Freed was able to use him as a pick. And, almost like a screen in basketball. And Freed now ahead of Gunther.
Well. And that was the other thing. That was a position as well. Garrett Rainey has not pitted since lap 19. So that was, Rainey's got damage. So that was a little scary there. So Freed and Gunther now moving up to 6th and 7th now. But yeah, your top 5 still out on the track, which is really interesting as Freed and Gunther are now unlapping himself on Widener. They are still a lap down to the other top 4, but I'm wondering if Ellison and Lockett and them, if they're hoping for a caution to maybe come out.
I think so. I mean, I think that's what they're doing. I think they made their bed. They saw they couldn't win. It's the All-Star race. No points. Why not? Stay out as long as you possibly can here. And then come the pit lane if you get a caution and get your fresh tires then.
Yeah, Matt Williamson coming into the pits now. So now you got 4 trucks now that are still have not pitted, which is Ellison, Lockett, Holofield, and Widener. This is, I'm still trying to figure out how long these guys can go, because man, this is interesting right now. I'm still curious. It's got me curious. I don't know how far they can go, but Matt Williamson's going to be the latest one in pits. He's going to be in pits by about 15 lap difference compared to Brody Gunther and Josh Freed and Chris Mackey. So that's going to be an interesting one. They're actually probably like more of a 10 lap difference. This is interesting. Paul Ellison still out on track. The gap between Ellison and Gunther is 26 seconds right now, and you can actually kind of see Brody Gunther in the background there of Ellison. Yeah, this is some interesting strategy, I have to say.
Well, like I said though, there's nothing to lose. These guys probably weren't going to win the race anyways, where they were at, and they're gonna test the waters here. You want a caution, you want it soon. As here's Ellison right here, as Gunther's going to come, and he is coming quick. So the thing is, you get that caution, and it's going to bring you down pit lane. You're going to restart here in the top 5, top 10, and give yourself a shot. As Paul Ellison remains in the lead here, Brody Gunther has unlapped himself. Austin Holyfield, he has hit pit lane in the number 10. He's in his pit. Oh, he's going to slide his box, I think. Nope, he doesn't. Barely gets in.
Barely.
The Goodyear tires going on him. Ellison still battles here. Zach Lockett in 2nd. Charlie Widener 3rd. But right now, Brody Gunther, he's the man to beat if this thing goes green.
Yeah, and then Brody's already pushed to a second and a half gap on Freed, but he still has to catch up to the top 3 of Ellison, Lockett, and Widener. And this is just very interesting to me with how this is playing out. And I have no idea what to expect, because Brody's running over a second lap times quicker than Ellison. He's a second and a half faster than Lockett and Widener. So this is kind of just really amazing me right now. I don't know what to expect. I mean, unless I wish I could figure out the strategy with Ellison. Unless he's manages to somehow save to make it all the way to the end, but I don't know. This fuel strategy is really interesting me, and I'm with you. I know these guys are trying to go as long as they can, but I'm wondering if Ellison's maybe going to just try to go with 2 right side tires and then try to take off. And Ellison is calling out that he's going to be coming in the pits this time, so Ellison's going to be relinquishing the lead here to Zach Lockett, as Hayden Palumbo's not too far behind Ellison, as Ellison's coming into the pits this time.
Yeah, only 20 more laps to go to settle it here at Dover for the All-Star race this season. Paul Ellison to pit lane. That'll almost knock him out of contention. Zach Lockett now he extends, and he stays out. He's your leader. But
this is actually interesting me, though, too. I just noticed. I wonder if Zach took fuel back on that lap 19 and back on that incident back on lap 17. Zach Lockett pitted back on lap 19, and it was a long enough stop to fix his damage. I wonder if he took fuel as well. So whether or not he's going to be able to hold off Rowdy Gunther, I don't know. I mean, we still got about 17 laps to go, but this is going to get interesting.
And here's Widener, and he is in second at the moment. And you could just see all these cars going around these guys, unlapping themselves from them, and it's just the speeds are so much different. And here's Gunther right now. His plan: go as fast as I can. And 17 laps to go. He needs to get to the front, and now he finds himself just 13 seconds behind your leader.
The interesting part,
just getting closer and closer.
The interesting part right now, lap times between Zach Lockett and Rowdy Gunther are just barely at a second.
Yep.
We're right now,
We'll get there.
What, 15? We're right about 15 to go, roughly. It's going to be tight. The interesting part to me is if Rowdy catches Charlie, how hard is Charlie going to battle Rowdy? That's good. It's going to interest me.
Everything's interesting right now. As we're just been trying to sort it out here. Who's going to win this Kyle Busch All-Star Race this year? Zach Lockett has put his helmet in the ring to try to get the victory, as is Charlie Widener. Rowdy Gunther in the driver's seat, as he's now extended his lead over this man right here, Josh Freed. Hayden Palumbo's in fifth. Tommy Cook 6th. Chris Mackey in 7th. Kyle Zittel is in 8th. Andy Paliki is in 9th. And Lucas Carver right now rounds out your top 10. Now let's go back here. Remember, Paul Ellison, who led and tried a different strategy, now finds himself back in 14th. Yes, fresher tires, but he still would need a caution. Try to catch back up to this lead pack. And right now, Zach Lockett continues to tick off laps here at Dover. And his next time by, we'll have only 12 laps to go.
Yeah, and the issue I'm seeing, though, for Ellison still needs to get around, like, the top 5 still to where he can fully get his laps back. And I think he's actually right now, he's sitting a lap down right now still. So it's just unfortunate there for Ellison. Ellison's doing everything he can, but he's got to get around Zach Lockett, and he is actually right now fighting with Palumbo as he is going to take the inside line to get around Palumbo, but Paul Ellison still has to get around 4 other drivers so that he can get back on the lead lap and then hope for that caution, and he is still probably about a good 8 seconds behind Zach Lockett right now.
Well, we don't know yet. We don't know if Zach Lockett can make it on fuel. I would highly doubt he would have tried to stretch it this long, knowing that he didn't have enough fuel. So we're going to assume here, like you said, somehow he has enough. I don't know, but it's down to 8.2 seconds with 10 laps to go.
Well, here's the interesting part to me. When we look at Ellison went, like, even granted, we also had cautions. Ellison went 81 laps before pitting his first stop. So that's telling me that you can really push it to at least 75, give or take. So I'm kind of curious to see how far Lockett's going to go. I wonder if Lockett's just going to go until he's out of fuel, especially with him pitting on lap 19, which would be right at 81 laps that Ellison ran. So it's kind of got me thinking, is Zach going to just run this out until he's literally sputtering coming to the line?
Well, I mean, why not? Here's the thing. I think the only way this strategy has worked is if he got a green flag run all the way to the end, because that's the only way he's able to keep, guys like Rowdy Gunther and Freed and Palumbo behind him is to get out to that massive lead. And obviously, if that lead were to shrink, he wouldn't be able to hold him off. So he's got a shot with 8 laps to go.
Here's the thing. Charlie Whitener coming into the pits
Yep.
now. Charlie Weiner before this lap last pitted on lap 12. So that's 7 laps different than Zach Lockett. Zach Lockett is right now getting ready to complete lap 94. Zach might be able to pull this. Oh, never mind. As Zach Lockett's coming into the pits.
Yeah, we didn't think so. We knew it was going to be a lot to ask, and he's going to give up that lead as he comes to the pits here. Brody Gunther setting sail here. As Josh Freed farther back. I don't think it's going to be enough. Man, what a long green flag run. I mean, we go from those 4 early cautions to just a massive long green flag run to end this thing possibly. And only a caution, a late yellow right now would send us into a frenzy and really turn this race upside down. If not, it's going to be Brody Gunther, Josh Freed, and I believe Hayden Palumbo as your podium finishers here tonight.
Yeah, but I mean, Ellison just finally got around Brody Gunther, so I think now Paul Ellison's probably hoping for a caution now because I think he could be right in this mix as well. But I mean, it's a lot to ask as we're getting ready to get ready to go to 4 to go this time by, and what a long run we've had after the start to the All-Star race.
Yeah, I would imagine there's a few drivers out here that have that second set of tires left. So if you're in this, who knows what would happen if we do get a yellow flag. We might not hear as Gunther rounds out turn number 4 once again down the front stretch. 3 laps to go this time by. He leads over Freed and Palumbo. Tommy Cook up to 4th right now, 15 positions to the good tonight, as he's your highest in position that came from that All-Star Open tonight. A great run for Tommy Cook then, a great run for him here in the main event. And we'll see if he can keep that 4th place position here. It's 3 laps to go now as we come to the line. 2 to go here for Brody Gunther.
Yep, 2 to go for Brody Gunther, and Tommy Cook having a great run right now, trying to hold off the like of Chris Mackey behind him, and it looks like he's able to keep that momentum. Kyle Zittle's going to get a run on Chris Mackey, so maybe Tommy Cook might be okay here with Mackey having to fight off Zittle here as Brody Gunther coming back around to start the white flag.
White flag is out here in the All-Star race. Brody Gunther, a multi-winner here this season, and he will coast to victory down the backstretch. He is, he didn't do it as easy as normally he does it. He had to come through the field to snatch the win here tonight. He gets the long run. He tames the Monster Mile here tonight. Brody Gunther goes to victory lane here. Josh Freed ends up here in 2nd. Hayden Palumbo is also on the podium. A great run for Tommy Cook. The 4th, Chris Mackey as well in 5th.
Oh, no! And Andy Blicky. Look. The voice chat was hilarious as Andy Poliski, Paul Ellison, Lucas Carver having a hilarious battle for 7th as Carver's tires were gone and Palicki got sideways. Actually, Palicki got sideways coming to the line, and Ellison squeaks out 8th place on there. So that was a fun little finish for those 3.
Burning it down is your race winner, Brody Gunther, here tonight. We'll try to get our top 3 up here into the booth. But another win for Brody Gunther. He celebrates here in Dover, and we'll get him right up here in the booth. Why not? We'll do it NASCAR style. On the track, Brody Gunther, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you know what? Another victory, but this one came a little bit more different. You had a kind of battle your way through the field and battle adversity early. I believe having to take a fast repair to get back in this race, had to carve your way through the field, and you get that long green flag run where you're able to utilize that green flag pit stop, track down Josh Freed, and never look back here tonight. Walk us through your night and that all-star victory.
Yes, sir. Well, I hate both my teammates that couldn't make it into the actual All-Star race in the Open. I was hoping we could maybe have like 2 or 3 work-in-progress trucks in here, but I mean, they obviously fought as hard as they could in the Open for it. And then in the actual All-Star race itself, yeah, very quickly thought my night was over because I didn't know we had a fast pair till after the wreck. So I immediately thought, well, that was a really fun event. Didn't really last long for me. But thankfully, that fast pair there to get back out there and try it again. Made it up to the field a little bit. I apologize to Jan. I think I did not mean to get into him. I thought he was going to enter in the middle, so I just drove it kind of like he wouldn't be there. And then by the time he came down, I was where he was going to be. So I tapped him a little bit, tried to let him get gathered back up, but I could tell obviously he was upset through him turning left on me twice. So I do still apologize to him there. But like you said, I mean, chasing down Freed and Ziddle and Palumbo, I mean, it was very difficult. I was trying to ride the wheels off of it. I think I did too hard the first run to where Josh was better than me on before the pit stop. But yeah, I did not expect us to go green though to the end there.
Yeah, caution-filled beginning of the race, 4 cautions early, and then, wow, just the completely unexpected long green flag run, like you said, but able to utilize your real-life skill here at Dover, one of the toughest tracks here in NASCAR, at least in my opinion, tight quarters, but the 0-1 back to victory lane here, Brody, and in all-star fashion for Kyle Busch, we do see that because you never know when the last one is there on the back of your race truck here tonight, a great nod there to the late and great Kyle Busch. And before we let you go here tonight, celebrate that all-star victory. Brody, anyone you want to thank or shout out?
Yes, sir. Corey at CGI Graphics, Josh at Mummies Productions, Work in Progress, everyone at Venom tonight for showing up, whether it was the Open or the actual All-Star race itself, as well as the admins of putting on this series. And then to you guys for broadcasting it at PGR, and then also my racing page on Facebook, Brody Gunner Racing.
Well, Brody, as always, it's a pleasure to speak with you. We'll see you again next Tuesday night as you guys get back to points racing. Until then, man, have a great time, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
Brody Gunther back to victory lane once again here in the Venom Truck Series as we bring in Hayden Palumbo, your third-place finisher tonight, and we'll let Tyler Vickery stand with him.
Yeah, Hayden Palumbo, you got a copy there.
I got you loud and clear.
Well, I know you had that was a wild start for you there, especially when you had especially with the randomization that we had last week with the All-Star situation with being able to start. So being able to start kind of in the back there, we're actually mid-pack. I know you had that situation there with that wreck. Just how did it feel having to go through getting caught up in that wreck and then having to work your way up through after the huge wreck that happened there back on lap 1?
I mean, I wasn't really a part of it. I just kind of split it through the middle there and hoped I didn't get run over from behind. That's really all I did. And then I guess there I started from 5th or 4th or somewhere and just stuck it up on the outside and held it wide open and drove to the front. Wasn't much to it, really.
Well, then, especially with that long run, did you feel like did you have like any tires that maybe you could have had a chance to catch up to the likes of Brody Gunther as well as the second place winner Josh Freed, especially with the way you were having to battle through with the pit stops?
I mean, definitely not Brody. I mean, you might as well just everybody race for second. But I mean, Josh, I mean, probably, but I had already kind of burned them up just trying to run, back through lap traffic and, off the pit stop, and just didn't really have anything left to really go for second. I mean, I probably could have pushed harder there at the end, but I mean, I don't know how big of a gap I had out to 4th place, but I ain't no sense in wrecking it. So just kind of took it easy there the last probably 5 or 6 laps.
Well, now that the All-Star race is over, looking forward to now next week where you guys are going to be out at Michigan for the Irish Hills 180. How's that track feeling for you, and especially with the point situation you're at, with you being in a fairly good spot right now with getting closer and closer to the chase. How's that track going to feel for you here next week?
Well, I won there last year, and it's typically I'd say that it's probably my best track in iRacing, but unfortunately I'm not going to be here. I'm going on a family trip to the good old Disney World once again. So I will
You're in my
miss.
neck of the woods.
Oh yeah, I will miss next week. So hopefully though, I mean, I shouldn't. I'll lose a couple places in points position wise, but I'm still not very worried about it. I mean, the track's coming up after it. I mean, I should be able to run fairly decently at all of those to still get in, and then that last 5 races will be game time.
Well, we definitely wish you a lot of luck here in the next few weeks, especially after your vacation trip. And we'll let you go ahead and get your shout outs real quick.
I would just shout out folks watching, you guys, for broadcasting us, and then the insert coin guys. Hey, we couldn't get Brantley in, but we were doing all we could spotting for him and all, and it just didn't work out. And then unfortunately, Jan got shipped 3 wide multiple times, and then finally got wrecked by a titanium truck. So shout out those guys. Shout out, I guess, parents for watching, and whoever else may be watching. That's really all I got.
Well, Hayden Palumbo, congrats again on the second place. Enjoy your vacation out there. I could probably send you a few tips and tricks and stuff with some stuff out here in Disney World, but enjoy the trip and everything, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here in about 2 weeks' time.
All right, we'll see you then.
Hayden Palumbo, everyone, as he is your runner-up here tonight in a great battle here with Josh Freed. As now we bring Josh Freed up here into the booth. It's your second place finisher. The number 39 tonight started 6th. Freed, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, guys.
All right, man. Well, an awesome race here in the later portions of this race. Obviously, you had the lead there for a little bit. The green flag stops you. Somehow lost the battle a little bit there with Brody Gunther, and we're not able to, catch him on that long run to finish the race. Possibly needed a yellow flag to fly at some point to kind of bunch it up to see if he had something for him there. But, man, not only a podium finish, a runner-up finish here tonight in the All-Star Race. Talk to us a little bit about your night.
Yeah, I really like this track. Really like Dover. I have a lot of fun here. I'm usually a lot better on the long run. I know early in the run when I was off the restart, I lost it to Hayden and Ziddle, and then it was just biding my time coming back. You burn up your stuff really quickly here, especially if you overdrive it. So I was just trying to take it easy and run my own race, and I mean it worked out there. Was able to get back by both of them and build a pretty solid lead. Luckily, was able to get it on the pit road with that green flag stop without spinning it. I think that was the first time I've ever pit under green at Dover. Was happy about that. Caught back out there, and yeah, Brody came out of nowhere, so good for him. But I'm still happy with how the race worked out for me.
Yeah, talk to us a little bit about that. This is a tough racetrack to kind of get down to speed, get on pit lane. It's tight quarters on the track, tight quarters down pit lane. I mean, obviously, is that something you worked on tonight a little bit in practice, assuming there could be a green flag stop? Obviously, that's not something you guys, you're not going all these tracks working on that pit lane entry, but is that something you did tonight thinking it was a possibility?
No, I didn't. I didn't even get a chance to practice beforehand. I got in just before the Open started, so just happy to make the race. It's tough because it's really, you just have to take how much risk you're willing to take, because it's a big time difference. I'm sure I lost a little bit of time on pit entry, but with how you have to get there, kind of coming off of like the entry of 4 to get down on the apron to get down in time, I was just trying to build a big enough lead where I could take my time to get on the pit road a little bit, make sure that I just stayed straight, and then I was confident my long run speed to be able to get back out there and make up any time I would have lost on pit road. And for the most part, I was able to do that. Got to the lead out in front of Hayden. Pit came back out. Another 2 seconds ahead still. So was happy with able to do it, but it is definitely a tough entry. Props to everybody tonight for getting on there cleanly. I was impressed.
Yeah, an awesome job here tonight. Josh Freed to finish in that second position. Guys had the Irish Hills next week, Michigan International Speedway. Back to points racing. We'll definitely see you out there 1 week from tonight. Before we let you go here tonight and celebrate that runner-up finish, anyone you want to thank or shout out?
I want to thank Matt Schlosser for picking this as the All-Star Race. I'm pretty sure he picked this. Great pick for him. And, the team. We're gonna regroup for next week. Just having a little fun at the All-Star Race. So excited to get back points racing. And Michigan's a really fun track to race at. So excited to get back at it.
All right, Josh. Well, we'll see you next week, and good talking to you. And look forward to talking to you again here in the future.
Thanks, guys.
Josh Freed, your second place finisher here tonight. As you see the results there on your screen, Brody Gunther back to victory lane here, this time in the All-Star Race for the Venom Truck Series. Josh Freed second tonight, Hayden Palumbo third, Tommy Cook in fourth, it's Chris Mackey fifth, Kyle Zittel sixth tonight, seventh it's Lucas Carver, and eighth Paul Ellison, Andy Pleaky, in ninth Matt Williamson rounds out your top 10.
Yep, and then we got as well going to be in 11th place. 11th place is going to be Austin Hollifield, Eric Breeding in 12th, Zach Lockett in 13th, Charlie Widener, the rookie in 14th, Jordan Journeau in 15th, Garrett Rainey going to be a few laps down in 16th, and then some of the drivers that got caught up in the incidents, Jan Van Leer, Chad Stearns, and Michael Milfelt Jr. rounding out your 20 truck field that was in the All-Star Race.
Yeah, an awesome All-Star Race, a great open, and it was just only a prelude to what we saw sparks flying early in this All-Star main event, won by none other than Brody Gunther. Another great night here for the PGR eSports Network, and glad you were able to join me here tonight, Tyler. It's time to sign off. We will be back next Monday, I do believe, for the PGR Light Series Round 2 of the Chase for the Championship, and then back here on Tuesday for the Venom Truck Series as we go to the Irish Hills of Michigan. Thursday night, we're off for the PGR Intimidator Super Speedway Series. I'll be traveling to Michigan for the NASCAR Cup race here this weekend. But I want to thank all of our viewers here tonight for sticking around and enjoying this one from Dover. We'll talk to you all here next time. Have a great night.